everyone. Today is really a very precious and very important day for all of us. We have Mr. Harjeet Khanduja, who is leading the HR, especially for the Reliance Jio. And he is not only working with Reliance Jio, but he is the actual, when you heard about the transformation in HR, he is the transformation. And he is an author, he is a speaker, TEDx speaker, and he spoke on various platforms. So I would like to learn from Harjit sir, from you, share brief about yourself, your journey, maybe for some of the audience, some of the viewers, those who may not know you.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. And this is special because both of us are together. It is not only about me.
Yeah.
Uh, Look, I am a HR professional and a happy soul, and that's what my introduction is. Uh, I also write books.
Yeah.
I like to speak. In fact, I love to speak. I love trying new things. Interested in technology, interested in painting, interested in photography, interested in gardening. So there are a lot of things I'm interested in, and I keep exploring my interest. So that's what I am. That's who I am. So basically, I keep exploring life uh, in all the different areas. In fact, when we first met very recently, so that time I was
Yeah.
experimenting with how we uh, how we convey the messages which we want to convey in HR in a different manner,
Yeah.
and that was also an experiment. So let's see
So
how that experiment goes.
let me share with our viewers and the audience about this. So guys, I observed something for the first time in my life. So you might have seen on the stage various type of shows, comedy shows, this shows, that shows. First time I observed that Harjit sir has done something very phenomenal and very innovative, that is called the HR show. So for me, sir, it's absolutely the surprise and unexpected kind of thing. The way you actually curated everything, and especially that Gabbar piece was actually absolutely the apple of the eye for everyone, but the biggest attraction. And the way the way you curated the drama and the speech and the everything, it was really very. I think you can convey the message the way you articulated everything was very much, and that was the attraction for the entire event. Now you can continue, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I do. I uh, keep experimenting with things, like to explore new things, and live the life to the fullest. That is what I do. For living, I solve problems, people problems, business problems. That's what I do.
My another question, and this is the question which has just popped up. How do you keep yourself so cluttered, uncluttered, and very clear, and which is very much evident and visible on your face, your expressions?
Look, life is simple. There is no point in complicating life. So, if you want to keep it simple, then you will not find clutter around. Clutter happens when you try to complicate things.
Mhm.
So, I live in the moment, whatever comes across, uh, and one problem at a time. Even when I do multitasking, one problem at a time.
Mhm. Very nice. So you lead HR into this the bigger organization called Reliance Jio. In the organizational things also you face so many the problems and the issues. What are the common things which strategically you see that how to solve the problem and the issues, and how keep people satisfied and happy at work?
Look, frankly speaking, it is not a difficult job for anyone. Uh, Anyone who is in our kind of profession.
Yeah.
We are business people. Uh, Business has a vision. Business wants to achieve its objectives. One is if we understand what is that business wants to achieve, And if we can help business in achieving that by say providing solutions which are people oriented. We are people
Mhm.
professionals. We understand how people get motivated, how people get demotivated, how people get excited, what is that people are looking for, and how you can make people more productive for business. So that's where we chip in by providing insights, by providing structure. So you start with defining the organization and the job design in a proper manner, and you can make a huge impact to the organization. You start
Mhm.
uh, making sure that people are um expectations are set properly and goals are set properly, and feedback is given to people. Um, you will automatically see performance of the organization going up.
Mhm.
Now, doing that um, in an organization is something which is a skill which HR people are trained on, and then through experience also we learn.
Mhm.
So that's how HR is managed.
Wonderful. Another very distinctive quality which I observed in you, many HR leaders, they do for phenomenal work, but when it comes to the presentation, when it comes to the preparing for the presentation, you are amongst very few people in the industry. So maybe for the aspiring, the CHROs or the HR leaders, you can share, few pointers what really help you and how do you prepare yourself before you go for a presentation. It's not only the presentation on the public platform or maybe for any conference, maybe for the organizational meetings also.
Look, it is the thought which you want to convey, and it is the emotion which you want to connect. If you have these two things clear, then you can make the presentation, whatever presentation you want to make. Generally, what happens is when you want to make a presentation, there are so many points. And I used to falter on this front many a times because you are doing so much. When somebody asks you what you are doing, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. People stop following you after 5. And I paid a lot of money to INSEAD to learn this, that people don't understand if you are talking about more than 3 or 5 or 7 points, people stop
Yeah.
following you. So everything has to be either you say a thing or you have pointers that these are the 3 things which are to be done, these are the 5 things which are to be done, these are the 7 things to be done. That's it. So if you are clear with your pointers, if you are clear with the message, like if you're making a presentation. So one technique my INSEAD professors taught me, whenever you are getting into a meeting or into a presentation, ask one question: what is the objective? So if you
Mhm.
are getting into a meeting for taking a decision or for getting a decision, focus on that. And if you are able to get answer to that, you can finish the meeting. So now this is a very simple thing, but at the same time, this is very powerful. You can actually finish some of the meetings within 2, 3 minutes. What is the objective of the meeting? And many a times, most of the people don't know why the meeting is called or why are we here.
Yes. Mhm.
So these simple principles uh, I have learned through various channels. One, of course, is INSEAD, which actually changed my life significantly.
Mhm.
And after that, I started looking for these frameworks and these simple things that
Mhm.
how you pick up and how you implement.
Yeah. So our people talks a lot of the problem solving technique 5 why fishbone and that kind of the structures and the module and they put into it. But wonderful to learn that what you said that the objective of the meeting and that one message what I would like to communicate to the audience. Coming to the next question, sir, you are an author. You wrote, I think, 7 to 8 books. How this idea pop up in your mind, and to before you write these books, what do you read? Yeah, it's not may not be only sharing the experiences, but writing is a skill which requires must the much more deep diving to the subject and the topic. Share something about that.
Look, it is a long journey. When I was born, the house in which I was born, that did not have a TV, that did not have a AC, that did not means we had just 1.5 room,
Mhm.
uh, no gadgets, nothing. Even I believe one fan and one tube light. But we had two almirahs full of books. So my uh, life started with books, reading books.
Mhm.
And I read a lot of books. And when I used to read books, I had a dream as a child that I will write a book someday.
Mhm.
And that was the reason I got into writing books.
Mhm.
So I was thinking I will write a book. Then I tried for quite some time. 30 years, I could not write anything. Then suddenly, what happened? Somebody told me, in fact, my managing director of my last company, he told me, you should start a blog.
Mhm.
So he started writing blogs. And this also was during the INSEAD time. So
Mhm.
whatever I was understanding in the class, I was writing about the same thing in stories. So I wrote almost 50 blogs and they were liked by people. So I thought I am a great writer. So I compiled all
Mhm.
those blogs and I said, this is my book.
Mhm.
And I went to at least 20 publishers that you publish my book.
Mhm.
Everyone said, yeah, yeah, very good, very good. Nobody published it.
Uh-huh.
Then I said, okay, when nobody is publishing it, that means there is something wrong with this. Then I left blogs and I started writing on LinkedIn. When I was
Mhm.
writing on LinkedIn, I was writing small stories and somehow people started liking it. So I kept writing. It used to take 15-20 minutes. And then people started telling me, you publish these writings into a book.
Mhm.
So then I went ahead, compiled these, and that got my first book, which is called Nothing About Business.
Mhm.
After that, one of my friends connected me to Sage,
Mhm.
and they were looking for a book on decision making. And I gave them my book, which I was pursuing for 20 people rejected. So I told them, this is the book. So they said, very
Mhm.
good. And they said, Ye kitab, this book will not work. Can you rewrite it for us? So
Uh-huh.
let's start with first two chapters. So I wrote those two chapters at least 6 times.
Mhm.
And finally they told me, sorry, sir, this is not going to cut it. We are not going to publish it. So I said, okay, fair enough. We have spent 6 months together. Now, if you can tell me what was that you were looking for? They said, we were looking for something
Mhm.
HBR style. They said, that is
Mhm.
very easy to write. They said, if you can write two chapters in that manner, then maybe we can take it forward. They said, ये तो मैं कल ही लिख दूंगा. I will write it tomorrow. So I wrote
Mhm.
2 chapters, sent it to them. They said, yes, this is what we were looking for. And then they signed the contract. And then we finished the book in another, they gave me 3 months to finish the book. So I wrote the book in
Mhm.
3 months. Then we went through that entire publishing cycle of 6 months. So that's how my first book got published. After that, so that book is called How Leaders Decide. Then
Mhm.
that got On a similar lines, it got republished as Leaders' Decisions and Biases.
Mhm.
Then I was approached by another publisher. It is called Zebra Learn. So they said, we want to write a book on HR. I said,
Mm.
very good. Uh, I can write a book on HR. They said, but we want to write it in a very simple manner for the people who, like entrepreneurs who are trying to understand HR. So no jargons, nothing, very simple. I
Mm.
said simplicity is something for which I am known. So I will write the book for you. And they said, okay, write first two chapters. I wrote first two chapters. They said, sir, ये तो बहुत complicated है. And I said, what is complicated in this?
Mm.
He said, नहीं, you are writing a strategy that, so what is a strategy? You are saying resource. What is a resource? Anyone who is reading this for the first time or a beginner, you are thinking that competency is something which everyone understand. It is not
Mm.
competency. Can you start with something more basic? So I wrote
Mm.
those two chapters at least three times, and then we simplified the book, uh, prepared an index, and uh, then I wrote this book. This is like a visual book. Uh,
Mhm.
so Zebra Learn has done as much effort on the book as I have done in writing it.
Yeah.
We have published together three books: uh, Hiring Mastermind, um, Employee Retention Mastermind, and Employee Management Mastermind. So
Mm.
hiring, retention, and management is HRM. That's what the
Mm.
series is called, HR Mastermind. So
Yeah.
these were the three books, and another book I wrote on the lines of uh, um, Nothing About Business. That is a sequel to it. The Storytelling Leader. It
Mm.
has a lot of stories and how to write those stories, how to use those stories in your business
Yeah.
context. That's what the books are all about.
Very nice. So, possibly, these books can be utilized by the management institutes. Those are especially building the competencies of the youngsters in the field of HR. So, if this podcast is, being seen and heard by these people, those who takes care of such, the institutes, they can really, get in touch with you. And particularly, you can finally, the finish up the kind of need and everything, as you are customizing, the content, especially for them. Yeah, so very useful, sir. Now, my next question is, when it comes to your book, especially for HR and what another thing you said, nothing about business. For two type of people. One is those who are actually in the job, in the human resource or the leadership role. Another one, those who are actually studying all these things in the colleges. Why someone should really go and read these books? What is that actual content they which will be helping them? Maybe the doing the my job well, whichever whatever I am in the current role, or maybe people those who are really trying to build their capabilities and competencies for the future.
Look, I have three types of books,
Yeah.
and I gave my book to somebody I know. So he said, "Your book is very good." I said, "Sir, uh, generally we say thank you, but that day I thought, sir, what did you like about the book?" So he said, "The thickness of your book is perfect. Whenever I do video call, then I have to put something below my laptop so that it comes to camera comes to eye level. So it nicely fits below the laptop." So different people can use it in a different manner. Uh, Look, when the first book which I wrote was a story book.
Mm.
It is like a simple story, uh, 10 lines of a story which you can read. And
Yeah.
you can laugh at those stories, but at the same time, they will give you a little tinkle in your mind. So
Mhm.
if you are fond of say reading horoscope every day, that what is going to happen to my life, or quote of the day, something like that, then it is good to have that book. Open one page of that book, read it, and you will get your quote of the day. Second thing, what you can do with that book is uh, you can actually read those stories. They are quick to remember, and if you remember those stories, you can actually use them in your day-to-day life. For uh, stories are something which our grandparents have been using, not even grandparents. Like humanity has been using for long,
Yeah.
for
Mm.
passing on the culture. Why? Because the stories stick. So if you want to convey a message, convey it in form of a story that sticks, and that's why these two story books, and anyone or everyone can read it. I have a 11-year-old nephew who read both the books. He took hardly 30 minutes, and he has started creating his own stories. So
Mm.
that's very good. I was able to inspire a 11-year-old.
Mm.
As far as decision making book is concerned, uh, I got a compliment from uh, two people. One person uh, runs a large business in a large company. Yeah, I'm not going to name him. He said, um, this is one book which I have got. You have actually defined the leadership, and you have not gone for what leadership is right. You have written it in a very practical manner that I can understand how I make decisions and how I can improve my decision making. And second
Mm.
compliment I got from the third publisher who actually published my HR books. He read the other book, and after publishing, he read the book How Leaders Decide. I presented him a copy. I did not think he is going to read it. He read it. He prepared notes, and he is discussing every week with his people in the organization. And he says, uh, "This book would not have come at a right time. There are so many frameworks which I can use to build culture and make my decision making strong in the organization." So that book is basically for the business people who are running businesses, uh,
Mm.
and it covers almost all aspects of decision making. And HR book is one book which I have not talked about much.
Mm.
Uh, One, because I was thinking this is a very costly book. Who is going to buy? And this publisher is taking a risk. Means, if you ask me buy a book of 8,000 rupees, I will say nahi chodo. But he divided the book in three parts. He is still selling it for 8,000 right now. He has given a 50% discount on books, and this book is selling like hotcakes.
Mhm.
Um, and I wanted to know that who is buying this book.
Mm.
Then I came across a young HR professional. She came up to me. She said, "I bought your book." And I asked her, "Why did you buy the book?" So she said, "Look, I work with a small company and I'm running the HR.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of practical problems. Uh, I need to solve those problems on my own. Even if I have a mentor, I can't call my mentor again and again. I
Yeah.
found this book very good. Anything, any concept I need, it is there in a pictorial manner, in simple language, in depth. So I can deal with HR of my organization on my own
Mm.
using this as a encyclopedia or a guide." So that is the usage of the three types of books which I have written.
Yeah. Very nice. Coming to the next important piece, we are into the HR, and which has a larger role to play for the organization transformation and all these blah blah things. If we see your story from that older Nicholas Piramal days to the journey towards the Geo, and what so many things have happened, the digitalization and so many other things have happened. People have entire HR has changed, LMS is in place, so many things are happening. How do you see the transformation and the innovation happens maybe in the future?
I will tell you a story, and this is again related to a book.
Hmm.
So I got a call from a friend. So he said, "Hey, congratulations! This was my first book. It got published. It got published on Kindle. So yeah,
Hmm.
congratulations." I said, "Thank you. You have got a book, but I am not going to read your book." I said, "Why? What happened? Why will you not read my book?" He
Ah,
said, "Because it is on Kindle, and I don't have Kindle." So I said, "You
ah,
actually don't need Kindle to
ah,
read a Kindle book. You can read it on your phone."
yeah,
The point I'm making here is many a times we think that we don't have tools
yeah.
or technology to leverage, but that is not true. The technology is all around us. Point is whether we are using it or whether we want to use it. I had a friend called Prasad. He was 70 years old. He
Hmm.
is 70 years old. So um, he had to go to the pension office every year to declare that I am alive. Then only the
I am.
pension comes.
Yes.
So when pandemic hit, so he was in tension. Okay, now my pension will not come. How will I survive? I have to go to pension office. I can't go outside. I said, don't worry, Prasad. I will figure it out for you. So I called
Hmm.
the pension office. Pension office said, sir, no problem. Uh, we will do a WhatsApp call. He will come on the call and we will verify that he is alive and he will get his pension.
Very nice.
So I thought
Hmm.
Prasad will be very happy.
Hmm.
Prasad was furious. He said if they had this technology, they had this
Hmm.
technology for 10 years, but they made me run for 10 years. Now they are saying it can be done this way. Why
Yeah.
it could not have been done earlier?
Hmm.
The thing is, if we talk about technology in nature has been around for ages. The thing is
Hmm.
whether we are using it. And thing is whether we are using it the way it is to be used. If you see, Uber has come. Now, how does Uber hire? Do you have a written test for Uber? Do you have a
I don't.
recruiter in Uber? Driver goes to the app and says, I am so and so, this is my license, and you are hired as a Uber driver. Then why are we not doing the same for frontline jobs? Why we have to interview? Why we have to do four kinds of tests and all that? Why can't we just take a certificate that, okay, you know this job and hire?
Hmm.
Just look at the performance management system. Customer gives the feedback. You are 5 star, 4 star, 3 star. If you are 3 star or below, then you no longer can drive Uber. And this is not only true with Uber, the same is true with
Hmm.
Airbnb,
Hmm.
same is true with Swiggy, same is true with the Urban Clap, same
Hmm.
is true with Amazon. New age organizations have already come in and they have started using
Hmm.
technology in HR. What
Very
we are
nice.
trying to
Hmm.
do is, I will tell you, uh, I met a student. He said, our college has gone for technology, is using technology. So this time we are going to have online test.
Hmm.
They said, okay. that's great. So how are they taking online tests? Well, so they will send the question paper to us and they will watch us on camera and we will write on the paper and then we will scan the paper and upload it. Then they are going to download the paper, they are going to check it and upload the marks. You're finding it funny, but this was actually happening.
Uh,
That's how we use technology.
mm,
We don't say that technology has to be a singular platform where your customer and supplier both come together and the business happens on the platform.
mm,
If we start treating technology in a similar manner, most of the processes we think of might not exist in traditional
mm,
HR. And there are new processes which might emerge, which we have not even thought of.
mm,
So we are in a evolution journey in HR as far as technology is concerned. That is what my take is.
mhm. Wonderful. Uh, Second last question is what is the larger role of HR? I see the two type of organization, the type of of organization where everybody talks about HR. HR is predominantly visible at every place, and everybody talks about HR because they take care of the employee well-being, salary, leaves, everything, their increment, appraisal, from onboarding to the offboarding, hire to retire, and all this entire life cycle. Second type of HR is there who are working in silos at the at the background. Nobody knows that whether they are there or not. People approaches them whenever they don't see the salary is credited properly or the less salary is credited where it got cut and something. So these two type of HRs, how do you see the bigger, larger role of HR in the organizational development? If and how someone can really increase? Should notice this HR is doing something. Otherwise, it's just like a movie got hit and everybody is talking about the hero, in the heroine, and the singer. Nobody knows the background people that how the Sholay got hit, or maybe any bigger movie, maybe Pushpa or something. People are talking about all their Allu Arjun and everything, but nobody knows that there was a person who was holding a light. Nobody knows that there was a person who was making a scene and finding the things. So I feel that HR should be means I would like to know from you and your opinion on this.
Look, tell me, blood is important in the body or not? Sorry, I'm losing you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm there. Yeah,
Is blood important in the body or not?
absolutely, 100%.
Without blood, you can't actually live.
Hmm,
And blood is the only thing which goes into your heart and comes
hmm,
out of your heart.
hmm,
So HR is like that. Do you need to talk about it? How many times you talk about blood? You talk about face.
yeah.
So when you are saying people talk about hero and heroine, that's what they should be talking about. What organization is doing for the customer? Rest everyone is enabler. Look, we have our own shows, HR gatherings, where we recognize the good work which is happening in the HR side.
Yeah.
So it is not that HR doesn't have a platform, but within organization, it is a team which matters the most. If
Mhm.
everyone doesn't work together and we start saying no, HR is more important or finance is more important or sales is more important, point is organization is more important, your customer is more important rather than independent functions. If you are thinking about anything other than your customer, you are making a mistake because it is not about any function or anything else. It is about customer, whether customer is okay or not.
Hmm.
Now, what is our role Our role is very important. Without HR being there, you actually cannot perform anything.
Mm.
Um, we have two roles, and I keep saying that we have a role of a bai in a house, and we have a role of a panditji in a house. Bai is somebody whom you can give keys of your house to, and not worried at all what is going to happen to your house, and your house
Mm.
is taken care of.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, if HR performs role of a bai, then nobody respects, nobody touches
Mm.
feet of bai. But without bai, you can't even run your
Yeah.
function. And second is the role of Panditji, where you actually say how your grahas are and who is the right person for you to bring in the family,
Mm.
and how I am going to perform the puja for you to be successful in your life.
Mm.
Now, these are the two roles which we perform, and we should know how to keep a balance between these two roles, because without
Mm.
these two roles, organization cannot be successful. You cannot run your house.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether people are talking about HR or not. Thing is, it is important to understand the value HR is bringing on the table.
Very nice. Nice, wonderful. Thanks for sharing these two metaphor and the examples. And last question: are you missing something which you would really would like to share to the viewers and the audience?
Yeah, if you like for the audience, I would share a code uh, which I specifically got uh, for you. That is additional 15% discount on the HR books. The coupon code is HRM15 off. So your uh, viewers can get that additional discount also on ZebraLearn website.
Very nice. Is these books are available on Amazon or Flipkart?
Yeah,
If
yeah, they are
somebody,
available
okay,
on Amazon
okay.
and Flipkart also.
Mhm. Very nice. So what we will do, we can put a link on in the description of this video so that people need not to go anywhere else to search, right?
Sure.
Great. Thank you so much, Sarji, for coming here and sharing all those insights, especially the story. Actually, you are a storyteller. You know, you say everything in the shape of a story, which can be very much easily relatable to anyone. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing all the thoughts, insights, and sparing your time for this podcast.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for inviting me to the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. Bye, sir. Thank you.